welcome to the Cutting Chai Stories. The stories we tell literally make the world. If you want to change the world, you need to change the story. I am your host, Karina Milani, and today in the episode of ET Cutting Chai Stories, I bring to you yet another interesting story. Today, we have with us Mr. Nitin Talwar, who is head digital application and engineering at Reliance Nippon Life Insurance. Thank you very much, sir, for joining in.
Hey Karina, thank you for bringing me in here. Thank you so much.
And welcome, sir. We are delighted to have you join us today, and our viewers are waiting to hear from you. So let us dive straight into the conversation, wherein we would like to know that did your parents have any dream about what profession you should take up?
Uh, I think, like every other parent, they always wanted good for their child. So for me, also, my parents always wanted me to be successful, and they always wanted me to be a hardworking person. Nothing specific on the professional side, but looking at my interest in the IT sector, they always wanted me to grow up the ladder and take up some good role or something very interesting in the information technology sector.
That's really nice to hear, sir.
And that's where I'm actually landing up.
That's great to hear. And when you look back, when like your professional life, what were the business understandings that you understand now, and how have you improved from back then?
So I think the sector that I am right now in, which is BFSI, banking, financial services, and insurance. Uh, this needs all the IT people to be very closely associated with the business fundamentals and uh, business aspects. All throughout my career, I have been associated with the same domain, and I think the knowledge and the exposure has grown multifold with time. So if I look back when I started my career in my early days of as a software developer, I started working on a Finacle core banking solution, which was one product from Infosys. And being part of the maintenance team, I got a length and breadth to understand the entire domain, the banking domain. And that was the triggering factor or where the learning exposure started coming in. So I got to know about loans, I got to know about the payment systems, I got to know about a lot of different aspects of the overall core banking solution. And so those were my times when I was a hands-on developer. I was working with Finacle core banking. There were change requests, there were bugs, there were production issues that were coming our way. So understanding the business aspects gave me a viewpoint on how probably somebody else who would have written the code, how would it be behaving. If I have to write a new functionality of my own, how close I can be to the business and how I can actually develop it. So that was from the coding or a coder mindset point of view. But now when I look at the business, the mentality has entirely changed. So that was more being functional. Now this is more being productive. This is how you can bring or give back to the business, because IT in our sector is yet treated as an overhead or a bulky function. So how we can move from that support function to an enabler function is the mindset that has changed over the period of time. I think that's the shift that has actually come in now.
That's really nice to hear, sir, because this is the current situation. But then I would like to know, and our viewers also would like to know something regarding your school life back then. How were you as a kid, and any such instances that you remember while your schooling or colleging days? Anything that you would like to share with us?
Uh, as a kid, I would say I was not a very naughty or a problematic kid. I didn't like a lot of noisy stuff. I was all uh, more of a introvert. However, with passing time, I don't think I am an introvert anymore. Uh, and I think, like anybody, the key shaping factors of one's life is actually the schooling days. And in my schooling days, I have also, I mean, when I was growing up, I've learned a lot of things. Uh, and that actually comes from the parenthood or the parental uh, upbringing that you get. So if you talk about my uh, key learnings from there, it's more of I would say perseverance, determination, and that actually comes from my grandfather. He was a very strong man. He had always been, he was a scholar in English. He had seen very hard times, the partition times, and he was a self made man. He was working for All India Radio. So he the perseverance is one thing that I had seen from him. He was consistently working on a lot of things, how to bring up from almost rashes to the what we are today. And similarly, my father carried on the legacy. And there were times when we were not there were not so good times. And I think my father taught me how to be resilient. You fall, but you stand up again, and then you move on. So there is lots of learning. I mean, in the yesteryears of my life, I had also learned a lot from all my mentors, my managers. So it has been. I mean, the life is always full of learning and experiences. So it kept on coming all our way for very very long time. And I think I will be learning going forward also from all each and
Yes.
everyone that I'm meeting. So it keeps going on and on.
That's really nice to know that your parents and your grandparents also had put in some or the other qualities, and you are the mixture of all of them. It's really nice to know, sir. And so, like any situation that you remember from your college life that is a fun part, but have given you a lot of learnings back then, and which have been deliberately carried forward ahead in your life as well.
uh, I mean, you are trying to make me a little nostalgic of them and going
Yes.
back on all those days. I think from my college days, uh, probably there was one instance when I somehow became a leader of choice for everyone. And that was one thing. I think that's where I started opening up. So I was a representative for my internal training and placement department from my stream. So I did my engineering, bachelor's of engineering in information technology. And I was representing my class, my stream, in the training and placement cell. And some issue broke out, and because of that, uh, my team could, I mean, all of us could not get the a placement to move into one of the interviews. So that was the time when I got to know that my people are not so happy about it, and we have to voice it out to the right people. And I think I took the stand, and people followed me. Being Because I took this as an responsibility of mine, that yes, I have to voice it out to the right people. And when we moved on, I was actually very overwhelmed to see that not just people from my stream, but people from other stream also joined hands. And we kind of it wasn't actually a protest, but it was a drive towards how we can improvise on the training and placement practices in the college, and make it more streamlined, so that we don't fall off the ladder, or we don't miss out on anything. So that brought a little structure to the overall process. And I think that probably gave me a kick that I can actually talk to people, I can be a leader, I can voice out things, and we can make things better together.
I agree. I agree because after hearing this, I understand that the next batch or the next, set of students that would have come in college would be thankful to you to making things better for them as well. And with that, I would like to know the very next stage of the life about your first way to work life. How was it your experience? How did you start your first job, and anything that you still learn from that and carry forward?
I think that was an experience altogether which was very different. During my GRE days, I got a couple of scholarships also, but somehow I didn't move out, and then I joined one organization as a call center or a technical support executive. Uh, Learned Windows, and then I got into my first job of a professional enterprise Infosys, where it was altogether a different story. We started working on the core banking product solution. That was the time when I actually started to learn how a professional environment is actually behaving, how you have to be working in a structured disciplined environment, uh, learn business, interact with people, uh, have team. So that was an altogether a different learning experience. But those were again key building up blocks for my career upstream.
Yes, yes, agreed, agreed. So, sir, how have your bringing impacted your attitude towards your personal and professional life?
So, like we talked about, I think being consistent, being having a good right thought mentality towards life, being empathetic to people, that is something that is imbibed in us, uh, and that is something that I think is still in me, and I'm trying to keep reminding myself on all of these, that we have to be empathetic to people. That's one of the trait of a must-have trait for a good manager or a leader, or whosoever is doing people management. So from that angle, actually, I think those things are definitely must. And I am myself a very hard worker. I believe in doing things right uh, for the first time, may ensure that till the time all the things are not delivered and completed, and we don't have spillovers. uh, that's something that I carry on. I try to keep uh, my team at ease. I hope I am able to make that happen for them.
That's really great to know, and you have given a key point to that, which shows that how people attract towards you with your behavior. And the next question that comes to my mind to know from you is how have you been investing in yourself to keep improving with your skills, or some hobby that you have been inculcating over the time?
Uh, I mean, it's not actually an hobby. Means so learning is a part and parcel of life. You have to unlearn. You have to learn. That keeps on going. So to keep myself appraised of the situation and the ever-changing technology world, I try to get engaged in different events. I meet people. I do networking. I have been going through a lot of sessions, taking up certification courses. So recently, I have taken up a certification course from IMA on digital leadership. Uh, and prior to that, again, a digital transformation crash course kind of I did from ISB, Indian School of Business. Uh, so all of the mix and match of all this and the experiences from my day-to-day life, uh, exposure from different industry, peers. That keeps me ongoing, keeps the fire or the light on for learning new things and be updated to the latest market trends. uh, I think that's something that I am doing as of now, trying to do. I am not a very avid reader. I want to, so if you want to call it as a hobby or a habit, uh, books are not my best friends. I try to read, but that's more digital, mostly digital, and I want to befriend books. I'm trying to do that. Whatever time I get while traveling, I try to read, but uh, I'm more inclined towards digital reading and audio rather than the books.
Books, right, right. I agree with you. So with that, I would like to know who has like who was your role model and why?
Oh, I think I'll probably not want to say a role model as such, but there have been mentors for me, uh, uh, who have been giving me, appraising me of a lot of things. They, whatever I am learning, developing, growing, implementing is because of a lot of them. So I want to be somebody like, if you want that word as role model, probably Steve Jobs, because he had the right vision. He was very determined. He was always focused to do what he wanted to achieve. He knew what he wanted to achieve. So
Right, I totally agree. And having a vision like Steve Jobs is something which we would also like to, have. And with that, I would like to know a mantra to your work-life balance.
uh, you need to know where to switch off, when to switch off. So I think that's what I try and follow. So, like I said, I am a very hard worker, but doing hard work, smart work. When I go back home, I don't carry things to my bed. I know when to switch off. I don't keep on repeating. I'll wake up early. If I have to pick up things, I'll redo them, go with them. But I know I try to keep uh, my time for my family and my time for my own self, my kids, my wife, my own self. So you need to know where to switch off and what's more important. So you have to actually prioritize yourself and your family as well. But definitely you can't ignore your work. Your work is definitely your priority, but you have to create that balance for yourself, and knowing where to switch off, for what time is where, what, when. So you have to manage that effectively.
I agree. I totally buy your point, which would also help me to switch off my laptop on the same time and give my perfect time to the family and do a work-life balance. Any advice that you would give to our audience, the young generation who is starting their career or are on the very start of their career to reach the peak of the success, or any advice that you would like to give them?
Okay. I think I have had a couple of people whom I have given this advice previously also. I think the first 4 to 5 years of your career is very, very important. People nowadays, and specifically after the 2020 era or COVID and other things, are actually running behind money. And we have seen in recent past, uh, the packages and stuff has actually increased multifold. Startup has come in. The startup culture is spoiling a lot of things. I mean, it's a boom. I know it's actually important to have those, but from the salary standpoint, people have started focusing more uh, on switching jobs. So rather than focusing on getting a higher salary package, first 4 years, 5 years, look for a role that can help you shape up your career. Go for learning and not for uh, the salary packages. And while you learn, try to implement it. Try to keep a vision, a futuristic approach or a futuristic vision, what you want to do. So if you are closer to your interest area, you are trying to learn things, and it gives you a kick, it keeps you motivated. I think that is what you should focus on rather than anything else. So take that hardship, earn a little less. If you have the opportunity, if you are getting a role, you are getting a money, that's definitely a very important thing. You should take that up. That is really a blessing, I would say. But go for learning in first few years of your career, and then that learning will continue. But obviously, the that it won't be at the peak.
Agreed, agreed, totally agreed. So with this, we would like to delve into the quick rapid fire round with some quick questions and quick answers. I hope that's interesting for you. So the fun segment, the rapid fire round, where the quick questions and answers would be done. So the first question that I would like to put up to you is, how would you describe yourself in 3 words?
3 words. Uh, Hard worker, empathetic, and innovative.
Okay. Favorite city in this world?
My hometown, Delhi.
Okay. Favorite food item?
Rajma chawal.
ओके तो छोले कुलचे और राजमा चावल
Rajma chawal.
ओके फेवरेट टाइम ऑफ द डे मॉर्निंग और इवनिंग
Morning.
ओके एंड लाइक आई वुड लाइक टू नो लाइफ इज इनकम्प्लीट विदाउट fill in the blanks.
With your love, without your loved ones,
Agreed. Thank you very much for
friends.
sharing your thoughts, sir. Thank you very much. That was really interesting and motivating to hear from you. And your journey has been very inspiring, and I'm pretty much sure that it would help to give us a clear vision and, give us a clear pathway to go towards the success for our upcoming new generation who has been starting up with their career and booming. And surely it was very inspiring and resonate to hear from you, and our viewers would like to watch any more upcoming cutting chai stories like this. Thank you very much again.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time and this opportunity. I hope this will make some sense to people.